Morning, YTPC. Frosty morning, but clear sky, and it's going to be sunny and warmer. And slowly spring gets nearer and all starts to begin, because the fleeder is now starting to bloom, and that's the first bush in this part of the world that blooms. So let's give you a look at that. Yesterday I was out venticulating my lawn, so all those grooves you see should help it breathe, and I tore out a ton of moss, and I'm just praying that I can rescue it without having to reseed the whole lawn, but we'll see. But there is the fleeder, just coming out now. Marvellous sign. It almost says, well, spring is beginning. And my little peach tree there, he's already starting to form his buds. So it's coming along. So housekeeping, Dunhill Pipe. Beautiful 9mm calabash with a metal steel cap. Was on sale at Dunhill last year, snapped it up. And in it I have some Sutliff rum and maple. Now this I jarred up about 1.5 years ago. Slowly I'm getting the advantages of having jarred things up. And when I first smoked it I thought, well, it's not bad, but it's definitely improved a bit even after 1.5 years. So I think even aromatics improve after being jarred for a while. Especially, of course, always if there's a decent amount of Virginia. It's about 50-50, I think, this one, Burley and Virginia. But if there's a fair amount of Virginia in it, for sure, it's going to go upwards and not downwards. My thanks to all viewers who expressed their concern about my health after being shot. Don't worry, I did heal up very quickly, as we tend to do. So it's always the ribs, isn't it? It's the last thing to get better, but a couple of days and I'm fit as a fiddle now. Got my Nimrod Admiral lighter here, which you've seen once before. It's basically very much like a Zippo, but it's double hold and works really well. I must say, I'm very happy. I put a little band around it to keep the fuel conserved, and it's just a very attractive lighter, you know. Got another delivery of pipe stands from Road King Piper, Eric, who makes these lovely beautiful 3D printed pipe stands, which I've now painted them all, and he does the lettering for you for your channel or whatever with your name on it, which is great, in several different colours now. So I got blue and I got some white, which I will the white ones I'll have for Christmas, but blue is also very nice, you know. Now then, as the title suggests, very special day for me, because about a month, 5 weeks ago, I was searching around, as I've constantly been doing for a year at least, or longer, for maybe perhaps a Dunhill pipe, you know, just to have one in my collection. And I was looking at the estate ones and the new ones they make now, But of course, same problem as everybody has. You know, they're like the cheapest you can find are like 250, either very small size pipes, and you know, very darkly stained, not particularly attractive, and so all that just to show, well, it's got a Dunhill stamp on it, you know. So it put me off, and I looked at the estate ones, but you know, again, the nicer they are, the larger they are, then they also get up there to, you know, anything up to 1,000, you know, but they, depending on the year and the rarity and model, condition. So you know how it is, you search and you look and you search and you look, and sometimes you find either an estate website, like that one with Carol Burns, which I told you about, which I got my Benson & Hedges pipe on, and sometimes on eBay or Etsy. And on Etsy I found a lovely little shop. I'll leave a link below. A lady called Faye who was running it, and she had interesting, very high quality offering of pipes, and restores them, and part of that collection was from her father, who had a huge number of pipes, and one of them was a Dunhill pipe, this one, which came just a few days ago. And I talked with her, of course, you know, about the price tag, and she was accommodating, but of course we both knew, you know, these are valuable pipes, and especially it came from her father, but she was very fair with me, and we made a deal, and here it is. And I think it's absolutely exquisite. It's a size 4, which is medium to large, which is at least what I need for my purposes. I've got very few small pipes, and it has this most beautiful 9-carat gold band, and it's beautifully sandblasted, which is one of my favourite types of rustication, is sandblast. An absolutely perfect stem, and this pipe, I have to remind myself with the number, is a 41032. Now that's a 5-digit Dunhill pipe, and they only did that for a short time. 1970, I think, 7 to 8, something like a couple of years. And of course I was wanting to look at this pipe and date it for sure, and I've got some photographs here which will help you, because I can't really show it very well here with the camera, but after Made in England there's a number stamp with a line under it, and at that period Dunhill basically said you can get the date by 1960 plus whatever that number is, and here it's 17, but I think you will see that much better on the photo. And 17 plus 60 is 77, so this is 1977. Then of course I wanted to see on the hallmark of the gold band here, there's a photo of that. what the last letter was, because the last letter on that hallmark will tell you the year, and it was very clearly a C, and that's 1977. So this is the original band with the original pipe. This is in fact one of those redbark Dunhill pipes, which came out around that time, and there was a later version with this kind of braided collar here, which came out for the space shuttle program in the early 80s, where it used to have a mini pipe that was attached, a little model on top of it, but they used a very similar band. And the band actually confirms it's from London. It has the leopard's head on the stamp, and that it's the 0.325, which is the 9 carat, so it's a 9 carat band. They did I think 14 and 18 carat bands as well, and sometimes those bands are themselves worth several $100s, because they're, you know, Dunhill pipe. Just like saying hello to my neighbour over there. Now, it's absolutely in very good condition. It has been smoked, of course, and I see some usage inside the bowl, but this has got at least 50 years life left in it for sure for me. It's not a filter pipe. It's basically from 1977, of course. It's unfiltered, but very, very good condition. Absolutely perfectly drilled, right down the middle and right at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm very happy with this pipe. Delighted, in fact, I'm ecstatic. It's fantastic. It's got a little flattened lower part, so in fact you can set it down like that. It won't roll over. And I'm so pleased to be the proud owner now finally of a Dunhill pipe. It's a real joy, and I think I'll only ever have one in my collection. But I do cherish it, and it was obviously a favourite of Faye's father. Do have a look at her shop. She's got some lovely pipes there, and very fair prices, I think, as well. And it's just great that there are people who have looked after these collections and even have some skills to restore them, and they are preserved and they go on. And for me, this is also an attractive Dunhill. You know, it's not one of those ones that you look at it and apart from the stamp of Dunhill, there's nothing impressive about it. This pipe is very, very lovely, quite light. When will I smoke it? I don't know. On a hugely special occasion, you know. One is almost tentative not to smoke such a historic, beautiful pipe, but I think I will on some very special occasion. Perhaps if I get 1,000 subscribers, that might be the occasion. Not so far away, perhaps. We'll see. But I did want to share that with you, and encourage anyone who's looking for that special pipe. It takes time, and one should take one's time, but suddenly something will turn up and be exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. It's fantastic. I do like these balanced, equal Virginia, or even slightly more burly than Virginia, because they generate a reasonable amount of smoke, and I just find it easy to regulate such a tobacco, not to overdo it, you know. And I think this is actually, after a year and a half in the jar, got less tongue bitey. Not that it was particularly a problem at the beginning when it was fresh, but now I think it's milded out a bit more, which comforts me that my theory of having a lot of tobacco and keeping it like wine with a big selection, but getting some age on almost everything can't hurt. For practically all tobaccos, I think it would generally be a good thing. I suppose the question is how much age, you know, can you do 7 years, can you do 10, can you do 15 or 20? Well, we know from YouTube that some 20-year-old tobaccos have been really good also, and some that are 70 years old have lost all their flavour, but generally they've not been sealed up, stored. They often were in pouches or something, or tins that were not hermetically sealed. Well, I think it depends, you know, one will see. I'm sure I'll have one or two where I think, oh, that's gone downhill, but this tells me I'll have many more successes than failures. I don't know if many of you do have many hallmark stamped collars or any jewellery or anything like that. UK is very big on these hallmarks, and there are Pipedia and pipefill.eu very good references and documentation about how to read these hallmarks. And the silver ones, for example, on the link I left in the other video, I'll put those links here again, that you can refer to them, because it's quite easy. All you need is a little jeweler's magnifying glass like this. This is useful because it's very intense on a small surface, so you can read pretty clearly what's been stamped. This particular one has a very small hallmark stamp, and the only letter I couldn't understand was the hallmarker's identification stamp, which is the first one on this, and it's not very clear at all. It's some kind of shape or figure. It's not initials. I did find some very similar bands on Dunhill pipes with this pattern with AD, but that was a different jeweller than this particular one, which I couldn't identify. But everything else was clear. The other slight mystery that's thrown up by this particular pipe is, of course, as I said, it's 5 digits. Now, it's very clear. You can find guidance which tells you the first digit is the size of the pipe. This is a size 4, which is medium to large. The second one is the type of stem that we have here, which is a tapered stem, which it is. And the third one, 03, is the shape, which is a billiard, which this is. And so that's 4 digits, 03, 4 and 1, and the last digit is a 2. And the closest I got to understanding what that digit means is they said it was really used internally by Dunhill to understand more about the pipe, and it was to do with the particular style of the bowl. But I haven't found out what number means what about the particular style of the bowl. They have basically said it could have been any number from 1 to 4, or it could have been a 9 on this 5th digit. But what those numbers meant, even on forums, I've only found people saying, well, it was something to do with the style of the bowl, but probably only someone who knows at Dunhill or worked at Dunhill would really understand what it meant. Whether it was the depth, I don't know, the thickness of the wall, I don't know. So that remains a mystery. If anyone's got an answer on that, I'd be very interested to hear what those digits, that last 5th digit, meant. But that makes it, of course, a little bit rarer as a pipe, and exactly in 1977 it fits perfectly to that identification. Playing some good old Baroque this morning. Lovely to hear it. Merry music, suited for the beginning of spring, I think. Well, my dears, it was a pleasure to talk to you again, and I hope you're also getting a spring step in your soul, and when you look out the window, also these first beginnings of the warmer months. So I do appreciate anyone who likes these videos, and if you give me a thumbs up, I'm really grateful for that. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate a subscription if you like the content. Cheers everyone, look after yourselves, bye bye.